Welcome to the Moonscape update. Hello everyone, Håvard Lundi here, and welcome to an update that is of a certain importance, I would say. Thanks for tuning in, hope you're all well. As you may have seen on my social media pages these past few days, I've announced the release of the new album. It's coming out on November 21st, and today I just wanted to talk very briefly about the new release, walk you through the list of guest performers that have most graciously helped me shape it into an end result that I'm really proud of. Most of them you probably already know if you're familiar with earlier Moonscape releases, but there are a few new ones as well that I'm really excited to have on board. The new album is called Entity Chapter 3, A Sudden Glimpse of Clarity, and I'll be talking more in depth about the storyline in a later video, the meaning behind the title and all that, but the Chapter 3 part obviously means that it is a continuation of the Entity sort of story. In a way, I decided to kind of go back to the first album with this one, meaning that it's basically just one continuous piece of music, 42 minutes long. I have split it into 14 tracks on both the digital and the CD release, one for each part that you can see listed here. I didn't really want to do the first album all over again, so it felt like the right thing to do, to divide it into shorter, perhaps more listener-friendly tracks. It will be available on all major streaming services on November 21st, and earlier this week I approved the proof files for a really nice looking jewel case CD edition, and I've made a full color 20-page booklet to go with it. As usual, it will be limited to 200 copies only, and you can already now pre-order your copy at moonscape.bandcamp.com. During the very top of the album, you can hear the majestic voice of Mr. Ken Mills, who is what you can probably call a recurring performer with Moonscape. He did a spoken word part on the previous album, and I really wanted to hear more of his voice, so it was his voice that I had in mind when I sat down and wrote the prologue on the album. As usual, I'm doing all the basics on the album: bass, rhythm guitars, clean and acoustic guitars, some keyboards, programming, orchestrations, and even some choirs. And on lead vocals this time I had Matt Brown, once again giving his clean voice to the protagonist, simply called Man. Just like he did on the very first Entity album, and his growling voice is giving life to the demon character. Previously I've had two different singers providing the vocals for the demon, but there's a reason why Matt's portraying both the man and the demon on this one, but I'll address that in further detail in a later video. I have introduced two new characters this time. David Åkesson is becoming a very familiar voice with Moonscape, I'm sure. And he is the voice of reason on this album, along with Nina Pochleven, who is appearing on lead vocals for the first time with Moonscape. Nina did backing vocals on the previous album, so this is her second appearance on a Moonscape record. Her character is called Hope, and she's basically the female counterpart to the protagonist. Greta Hajdukova is appearing on backing vocals and choirs, just like she did on the previous album. Jim Bruneau did the father character on the first album, and since his character died on the Chapter 2 album, it didn't feel right to bring that one back to life. It would probably be a bit weird. I still really wanted his voice on it, and I really wanted him to be part of it, so thankfully he agreed to do some choir parts instead. Phil Styles is a new name in the Moonscape setting. I first got in touch with Phil and his band Final Coil when I was reviewing their then latest album for my Subterranean Noise blog around 2019, I believe. It was pretty late in the recording process when I found myself in need of one or two more voices for the choir, and he offered, and I was more than happy to have his voice on a Moonscape album. Birk Tvedt is a fellow Norwegian, and he is the second voice in the choir that's appearing with Moonscape for the first time. He's a singer, obviously. He's a drummer and a songwriter, and his band Synecrosis started out as a solo project of his. And it evolved into what I'm thinking is now a 5-piece. I'm not sure if they've released an album yet, but I do know for a fact that they have a few singles out, so go check them out. Elin Wollert is the third sort of newcomer on this album. She was suggested to me by Leviathan, who also happens to be her significant other, and vice versa. And with her lengthy background from singing in several choirs over the years, she proved to be a great addition to the choir parts on the album. The guest musicians that I have with me on the album have all contributed to prior Moonscape records. Cesar Popescu has always brought along really tasty guitar solos, and this time was no different. His contributions are always among my favorite moments on the records that we made, so he is one of many people that I'm really proud to have on board. The same goes for Andreas Jonsson, who is absolutely magnificent. He has appeared on all my records, including this one, and his contribution this time was the beautiful harmony guitar solo during the intro section to A Place to Call Home. Leviathan, I already mentioned earlier. He's done great solos on all my records, and this time he's appearing twice, actually, on parts 6 and 7, I believe. He also recorded Elin Wollert's choir tracks, and he did some other vocal production stuff as well, so he's been a significant part of the making of this new album. I can't really imagine a Moonscape record without David Russell on the piano. He's just brilliant. I can write a somewhat decent piano part, and at least I like to think that I can. And when he's sending it back to me after having done his work on it, it's just so full of life, and it's vibrant, and he's just adding so much sparkle and virtuosity, if that makes sense. He's a great musician that I absolutely love having on my recordings. And of course, last but definitely not least, Diego Palma from Lord Divine is an Argentinian keyboard player who has appeared on every Moonscape album since Entity in 2017. And this time he's doing the solo that comes in at the end of the part called The Diminishing Shadows. So I'll leave it at that for now. New album coming on November 21st. You can pre-order it now on Bandcamp. Be sure to grab a CD copy if you're into physical media. There's a link in the description below that will take you directly to the album page, so it's only a few clicks away. I'll see you in the next video around the time when the album's coming out or thereabouts. So until then, thank you so much for your support and thank you for watching. Bye for now.